Live at 5, it's offer review, and we've got some clarification on what was going on with room 4 in Cosmic Crucible, and it looks like it was exactly like expected. I only thought it was something to do with resistance, but it looks like all the bonuses were not being applied to City Mystic heroes at all. So it says, we have identified issue in Cosmic Crucible Stage 4, Mystic Amplification, where the intended stat increases for City Mystic characters were not properly applied. This is now fixed. And then this is also kind of a bad situation. If you are at level 78 or 79 and you go to level 80 any time during this battle pass, there's an issue and you have to contact customer support. So what happens is the battle pass changes and you get reset and they have to fix it manually. So this is kind of a big deal if you currently are at like level 77, 78, 79. But if once you go to 80, things get weird and you have to contact customer support. Also, got a lot of other stuff that's very interesting to talk about. A lot of people have been talking about finally, after a year plus of grinding, I finally did it. I unlocked Dormammu, and I believe there's a little more than 10,000 people that have unlocked Dormammu. Now, keep in mind, Dormammu was launched in November of last year, and 10,000 people is maybe, under 5% of the player base still? And then this is kind of an interesting question. Now, given the Apocalypse unlock requirements, can anyone at Scopely give me one good reason I should waste my G16 Mystic gear on him? And I feel like this is a excellent question because when you take a character from 15 to 16, there's about a 10% stat boost. And then you also, when you go from Blue ISO 3 to Blue ISO 4, there's another 10-12% stat boost, so a total of 20% instead of just leaving with G15. The big problem is that Dormammu uses a ton of Mystic gear, and that Mystic gear really needs to be allocated towards Darkhold if you're going to get towards the Apocalypse requirements. Now, I asked, but here's the thing: Dormammu's really good, and I know that the answer is do both, or which one should you do first? And so I asked chat this question here on Twitch. I said, who should you G16 first, Dormammu or Scarlet Witch? And 68% of the people said Dormammu and 32% said Scarlet Witch. So I believe Dormammu is very powerful. You know, I know that when I was taking characters to Blue ISO 4 and so on, I definitely was focusing on Morgan Le Fay and Agatha first. And then the real question comes into is like, am I going to regret taking Dormammu to Blue ISO 4? I hope not. But now I've been working on Rogue and all of those other requirements. So this has been coming up a lot. So this post right here, Balanced Entertainment's pre-patch character ranking sheet. And this is kind of a joke right here, but I thought this kind of proves a point that's along the same times. And this is by Mi nombre es lucid. I don't know what that means. I took Spanish once, but I don't remember that well. And they said that they found this character ranking sheet in the dumpster at Scopely. So this is kind of like a parody. But let's just read what the comments here kind of prove a point and where these characters actually lie. I mean, that's an opinion, and people could say, oh, this character shouldn't be there and this character should be moved up. That's not the point. The point is this: players will happily level up for Apocalypse. So we've got a lot of characters up here that people are like pretty excited about leveling up for Apocalypse. Then we've got characters where we're not so thrilled, which is right here. And specifically, we were just talking about Scarlet Witch. You know, players will be unhappy to level for Apocalypse. Then leave players guessing. What are we supposed to do with all these characters over here? For example, we were just talking about Dormammu. What do we do with Dormammu now that we know we have to upgrade all these characters to get Apocalypse? Then we've got characters worth the resources we're going to ignore. Whole function of characters that are very amazing, like Omega Red. You know, if you've watched any of my Cosmic Crucible battles, I've been pretty excited about Omega Red. And then lastly, pretty much the rest of the characters of the game, leftover stuff we couldn't figure out to do with it. So It is an interesting question. I'm in the camp of upgrading Dormammu before Scarlet Witch, but this Mystic Gear is going to be a problem. Next, I still remember the random amount of Gambit shards, Mega Orbs, and Dazzler milestones, and I'm going to continue personally to bring this up to Scopely when I have interactions with them. But yeah, it feels like they addressed the Summer of Blunder, and I'm not misspeaking there. Summer of Thunder, Summer of Blunder event, and we stopped talking about some of these other things. There was a situation where I got random Gambit shards, random Mega Orbs. Some people got more than others. There was no explanation of why or how people got them. And then there was the Dazzler milestone issue where, if you bought this $5 offer, then you were able to get all of last month. It counted towards the last month's Dazzler milestones, and it capped out all the rewards. And basically, none of this was addressed. It just was not addressed by Scopely. And I feel like they just want to act like it never happened and moved on, and so on and so on. Scopely, please add 3 Kree minions that are currently farmable via campaign nodes. And he talks about the Noble Reaper Cyborg in the Blitz store, so people can get more shards on a daily basis and use this precious campaign energy on better things. And so the reason why you have to farm these relatively useless characters is that they allow you to get Nick Fury, and then Nick Fury allows you to get Omega Red. And what this person is saying is that they have an abundance of Blitz currency, and it'd be better for them if these characters were available in the Blitz store rather than have to spend campaign energy. Not everybody is in that situation, but the idea is this: that they need to do something for these older characters. Maybe have double drops on older characters or triple drops on older characters. If they're going to want us to farm these really old characters that really serve no purpose other than getting Nick Fury, and then Nick Fury is not that great himself, and then you need him to get a Mega Red. People are going to take the time, at least like ease up on it or make it through another currency that's more diverse and better used. Then also, we've already talked about this. Today I finished my second DD5 run. We already talked about that, so we're going to move on. Now, we're going to talk about at length today some of these offers that will help on some of these events right here. So it's going to be kind of an interesting conversation on whether or not it's worth it or not. So let's move on to offer review. And first things first, heroic deal right here. This is going to be the second round of the Valkyrie offers. We got $49, $50 for 55 character shards, and then you get the proper orbs right there. Those are the character shard orbs that average 9.3 character shards per orb. Minimum 6. There is a very, very, very small chance in one of these 8 orbs that you could pull 180. I think I've done it once, but it's like a 1 in 2,000 chance or something outrageously. Anyways, so if you're going to be pushing hard from Valkyrie, that's fine. Keep in mind, Valkyrie is a event campaign character, which in my opinion is the most player-friendly release method. So let's move on from there. And then right here, limited time offer. This offer right here feels like a kind of a Kraken snack for people that are looking to upgrade their roster. This is a reasonable amount of gold and training materials for the $49, $50 US price. I'm not going to be purchasing it, but the math somewhat adds up when I start adding up all the individual components. But it still just is a very lukewarm offer. I give it a C- D+. Now, this is the offer. This offer was bugged out yesterday, and now it includes the lightning orb fragment. So this was fixed from yesterday's offer review. We got a gold orb worth $1.50. We got a red star orb worth $1.50. And then this right here, this is a very interesting orb, probably also worth $1.50, just in the amount of training materials that it contains. But it also has character shards in there. So like I pulled Wong, I pulled Madeline Pryor, but it also has some older characters that you may or may not need, but that's fine. But there's a ton of training materials. So if, a lot of ways you can substitute this for a training material orb, but I believe it has like 96% of the amount of training material fragments in that orb alone. So it's effectively a training material orb worth, in my opinion, about $1.50. So $1.50, $1.50, $4.50. So we have an offer right here, plus T3s. I don't value that. Maybe you need the T3 orbs, or you don't. But This offer right here is pretty close to be worth the $5 price. Not quite. It's worth $4.50. So the way this event is going to play out for the Space Viking, the Space Viking basically is a convoluted offer, and you would have to buy that for some people, and you have to do the math yourself. But we've got 2 more days of the web milestone rewards where you get, I believe, like 7,000 points a day. And so you'd have to buy that offer twice if you've capped out the rewards. So do your own math on this. But a lot of people, if they buy that offer twice, will be getting this. So this is that precious mystic gear. We just had that whole conversation about, do you upgrade Dormammu? Do you upgrade Scarlet Witch? And that's because this gear right here is super scarce because of the high number of mystic characters we've had that are important in the arena, which is going to be Darkhold, Dormammu, and so on and so on. There's so many different characters. The real question is then, what is this worth? Is this worth it too? Because is this worth spending $10 for? Well, you got an offer. Maybe there's $9. Maybe there's $9 worth of value in that other offer. I'm not going to be buying this, but I'm just going to say I see a lot of people buying this, because the other thing is that if we look at the Summer of Thunder offer, offer. That's what it is. It's an offer. We've got 10,000 points coming in here pretty soon, so that'll put a lot of people just barely away from getting milestone 40. And milestone 40, maybe those 2,000 fragments will be what you need. My best guess is if I bought this offer twice, that we were just talking about offer review, it'll probably get me to just a couple short from the milestone 40. But if you're looking just for milestone 41, and then again, this is all taking into account whether or not you've got the same scoring that I have. So do your own math on this. But a lot of people are considering buying that. What I'm trying to say is a lot of people are considering buying that offer twice with the hopes that pushes them over the top of milestone 40, and with the hopes of buying that offer twice pushes them over milestone 29, and and that there is some value in the offer in itself. So Scopely, why did you make it so hard? You buy an offer that fuels a milestone event, which gives points towards another event. It's bonkers, and that doesn't even take account that there was an entire event which you got which you got events feeding events, and it's needlessly complicated. It's just a super convoluted offer. But I'm just saying there is an opportunity with this offer to finish off some of the other milestones that are wrapping up here the next day. So you got 23 hours left on this offer right here. Worth considering. I'm not going to get into it myself personally, but then we've got another one right here where we've got Summer of Thunder bundle. And as we go through offer review, there's going to be a $20 offer, which is just for an Elite 4. So an Elite 4 anchor pricing is $20. So this is a better offer than that right there. I don't personally value Elite 4s, an Elite 4 at $20, probably closer to $10. But then we've got 4 Red Star orbs. I value those at $1.50 a piece. So that's another $6. So if you do value that at $10 and you value those at $1.50, then that right there adds up to $16. And then you also have some fragments, which will help you on that Summer of Thunder event. Let's move on. Pretty much trash. I don't see any reason to purchase this when you have this offer up here. This offer right here is worth considering. This was the one that was glitched out yesterday. And this one here, just in my opinion, is no go. You literally are getting, I guess you're getting 2 orbs right there. $1.50 a piece. That's worth $3. Depends on what you value T3s for. I personally don't have any scarcity of T3, so that's not something I would be considering. And it's $10. So I prefer the other offer quite a bit more than this offer here. Let's move on. Then ISO 8 ore bundle. What we need is blue ions, not really ISOs in any ways. And same situation right there with green. And again, right here, what I really need is ions rather than ISO on the market. This offer hurts me because it's you need so many of these pieces to upgrade As far as the blue level 4 ions, you need almost 715,000 to go from blue ISO 3 to blue ISO 4. There is a 12% boost to almost all the stats except for damage. Damage gets a 2% boost, so it is significant. And then it's also going to be a requirement for Apocalypse. So the characters and the horsemen all pretty much need to have this currency. The reason why I'm not suggesting that anybody look into this today is I want to see what's going to happen next week. Next week on Tuesday or Wednesday is when I'm expecting to get a patch. The patch is introducing a new raid, and the new raid will have multiple difficulties. And I want to know if there's going to be any kind of access to this currency in those raids. So that's personally what I'm waiting for on any of these level 4 ions. Ultimate training offer. I have bought this in the past. This is what I had an extreme difference between gold orbs and training material orbs. This is a straight up Kraken snack. It's not like a great deal. Actually, I didn't buy this. This was accompanied by a bunch of smaller priced offers that had similar value. This being here, this has some, this is that super valuable blue ISO 4 currency. And then we've got 3,000 level 4 training materials. It's a Kraken snack. It's just outrageous to think that we're considering it. Silver Surfer, big fan of Silver Surfer, $5 for 50 character shards. I think that's a fantastic value. If you need Silver Surfer, one of the better plug and play characters, probably still in the top 20. And then again, I'm waiting for the patch to find out what's the direction the game is going as far as the new raids, and if the new raids will be awarding this currency, or if they're going to keep it super scarce. Hopefully that's not the case. We're going to kind of move into some of the trash area gear. Here's trash. I personally not needing ISO 8. What I need is ions. Same situation here. Normally they sell this for $20. This will get you war ready on, I believe this is a brawler. Yeah, brawler character right there. They try selling this for $20 a time, so $15 is a little bit less. And then Summer of Thunder bundle. This is better than the deal that we had a couple weeks ago, which was at $5 for this amount of energy. So if you need green energy, there you go. That'll also help you push towards level 90. Perfect clone offer. So this is Scarlet Spider. This is the one character that they're holding on to for the Web Warriors. Now, I feel like this would have been a better deal when the Scourge was running for Morgan Le Fay. I don't personally have any interest in purchasing this. $25 for 50 character shards. So I'm not going to be buying this, but every team usually has one character that they just hold on to. For example, in Darkhold, they're holding on to Agatha, and that Agatha is just not available anywhere. Well, Scarlet Spider is similar. They've done this always. Moondragon, Infinity Watch, Cull inside of Black Order. There's usually one character that's just harder to get. Disco Diva offer. Yikes, $35 for 50 character shards out of my price point. And now we're getting into the normal standard offers that are here on just a normal rotation. None of these are an exceptional value. We're just going to scroll through these quickly and see if there's anything here worth talking about. This might be helpful if you're trying to push for level 90. Still kind of pricey, but it is a way of doing that. I'm not personally rushing to get to level 90. I'll get there when I get there. And then we're also looking for the one core offer. Let's toggle over to the free-to-play account. Free-to-play account has a bunch of offers. My goodness. We've got a bunch of we've got just loads of these offers right here. We've talked about that offer, so that's a duplicate. We're going to skip over all the duplicate offers. Limited time offer, we talked about that also. Phoenix unlock offer. So this is basically the team for Phoenix. Unfortunately, this does not have magic. Magic is the key component to this team. So typically, when you run Phoenix with magic. And then these three right here. She sits on the bench, and Beast goes along with Astonishing X-Men. $35 times 150 times 5 character shards. is fine. Deep discount right here. We've got, this is for, serves two purposes. They're running a Blitz event right now, which is using these events like a Rumble event. I don't feel like that event is that important, but this is the X-Force, and the X-Force will help you unlock Doc Ock. They are the requirement for unlocking Doc Ock. Then here we've got Villain Mystic Controllers. Unfortunately, this is the bad ones. These two characters, these characters here are nearly unplayable, and then there's limited use for Loki and Mordo. So this is just to help unlock Phoenix. And then we've got one more heroic deal here. And then we're just, this is for Wakanda. If you have Shuri, you get 200 times 4. If you're, the main thing about, especially if you have Shuri, is that there is that chaos theory that happens on a monthly basis. And that is a good source of gold promotion credits, the chaos theory event. So Wakandans. Okay. All right, let's keep moving on and see if there's anything else we're talking about here. We're just going to scroll through. We already went over the Silver Surfer offer. I believe there is a Spider-Man offer in here that is worth considering. Let's see if it's still in here or if it's already expired. And then we'll wrap up offer review if it's not here. I think that'll do it for today. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Tomorrow, we're getting a big blog post. What I'm really hoping that we get tomorrow is that we get information on the War Scourge teams. The only one that we know of right now is Hero as Guardian. But as we know, some Scourge teams are more important than others. If you compare the importance of our last Scourge teams, it was all about Young Avengers. Very little to do with A-Force. Very little to do with Inhumans. All right, guys. Thanks for watching and keep on gaming.
All I wanted was